Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. My name is Marquilla. Today we're talking VSG, specifically my struggles with body dysmorphia. So let's get into it. So if you are returning, welcome back. I'm glad to have you here. If you are new, welcome to my channel. Quick introduction, my name is Marquilla. I am a mom, wife, and photographer. And now I'm doing blogging as well. I live in cold Chicago. It is cold here, guys. I am indoors. not going too many places, but work. But basically here on my page, I'm just sharing my journey after weight loss surgery. I had the gastric sleeve surgery in October of 2021. So I'm sharing my journey around that and my experiences with that. I am also sharing some content on my life, my family. I'm pushing more content. I'm going to be pushing more content out. I just still working things out. Like I said, I am a wife, a mom, so I have other things going on and I work a full-time job. But don't forget to like this video and subscribe. I am looking forward to having you guys with me. And if you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comment box. And in the future, I hope to be able to do a Q&A and answer some of your questions around, whether it's weight loss surgery, my journey, or any other questions that you may have. So again, today I'm talking about my struggles with body dysmorphia. So we're just gonna get right into it. So occasionally, if you see me look down, occasionally I'll be looking down. I have notes. I ramble on and I kind of get off topic. So usually I do write notes, but I will memorize them and go off topic, go on a tangent. So since this is a very serious matter, this is going to help me stay on topic today and to try to keep my videos as short as possible. So I have notes. So if I look down, that's what I'm looking at. Quick disclaimer, I am not a medical professional or expert. So my topics, the content that I'm sharing are related to the topics. They are based on my personal experiences and are of my personal opinions. So if you have any questions regarding the topics that I'm sharing, or if you are interested in doing weight loss surgery, I advise you to seek advice from a medical professional or expert. Okay? So let's get right into it. So today, again, I will be talking about my struggles around body dysmorphia, specifically after I've had weight loss surgery. So I'm just going to basically just start into what is body dysmorphia. So body dysmorphia as it relates to bariatric patients, according to Advance Bariatric Therapy, this is a website. And keep in mind, the information that I'm sharing you is not my information. This is information that I'm getting from another source. I will place that information or the link to that information in the comment section. So if you want to read more about them or look into it more, if you have any questions, like I said, if it's something that you think that this might be something that you're experiencing, but you might have more questions or want to seek treatment, seek a medical professional, but you can also look at this information just for your knowledge, okay? So back to what I was saying, according to Advanced Bariatric Therapy, body dysmorphia occurs when you are unable to perceive the reality of your own body. And then they go on to explain that bariatric patients sometimes believe they are smaller or larger than what they actually are. So in terms of how does that relate to me? With the part where it says that you're smaller or larger, so in my mind, I typically thought like I was too small for weight loss surgery. Like I thought like I did not fit the criteria. In reality, I did fit the criteria. And I wanted to point that out because I think that I know but I don't know how many people who will actually come out and say it. But I wanted to say that because I know that there are other people that might feel the same way, and they might feel like, okay, this might not be for me, or they might have looked into it or not even thought about it because they think the same thing. And so I never, like I said, I knew people who had the surgery or had some form of weight loss surgery, but I did not think of myself as a person who would need that type of surgery. Although I was obese, and according to my BMI, and what the medical data will say, I was morbidly obese at my size. I was 264 pounds, my highest weight. And that was before, at the start of my process from consultation, I was 264 pounds. But at my highest, I was 273 pounds. Okay. So I was almost at 300 pounds. And that's not to say like I didn't think that, I had to be 300 pounds plus. It was just saying, I'm not denying the fact that I was a plus size woman or I was obese. It was just that what I viewed in my reality, I didn't think that I was that big, if that makes sense. So a lot of times that happens, and that was me. So then there goes on to say, in severe cases, body dysmorphia can become a disorder that is classified as a mental illness called Body Dysmorphic Disorder, also known as BDD. This leads or can lead to obsessive behavior, where people who suffer from BDD tend to fixate on flawed parts of their body, whether it is real or imagined. Okay? And I'm not laughing at that. I tend to do that. So for me, before I had weight loss surgery, I believe that I had struggled with body dysmorphia. However, I did go through therapy, but I never brought up this. I never brought up, the issue around my weight. I never brought up, I never talked about it in my therapy sessions. That's what I mean by brought up. I never talked about my weight in therapy sessions. I never talked about, how I felt about my body in therapy sessions. I never talked about, my relationship with food, which I will do another video on, because that's also important. I never talked about that. I never even talked about, how I view my body, because I view my body, as far as back as I can remember. As a teenager, I always thought that I had a big stomach, and I can remember being obsessed with that part of my body, wanting to make it smaller, feeling like I had to do certain things as a teenager. So I never brought these things up in therapy. I never brought up another part. I always felt like I was the fat girl growing up. And I was bigger than some girls, but I wasn't fat. And I know some people say like, well, we always think we're fat when we're younger. I was not, fat. And typically when people say that, they're not. But I wasn't fat growing up, but I thought I was because I didn't look like the other girls. And so I was teased for that. I was, bullied for that. And so in my mind, I just always thought I was fat. Plus, I would look at people on the TV, singers, models, and I felt like I had to look like them, skinny and a certain petite, and it's not to make fun of or judge people with those body types. It was just saying that in that time, in the way society was with me growing up, and it really hasn't changed much, unfortunately, but the way society was with me growing up, that was the standard of beauty, was to be thin, slim, skinny, petite. That was the beauty of that was the standard of beauty. And so I did not look like that. And so I thought, I was fat. And I struggled with that. And I can remember focusing on my stomach a lot, even laying in bed, like sucking my stomach in. And I thought even shirts, we wore fitted shirts. I never wore crop tops. I never wore, fitted clothes because I was so nervous about my stomach. I thought it was so fat. And so today, having this surgery, Up into the surgery, I struggled with that, but it became normal behavior for me to be fixated on that, for me to be obsessed with my stomach, to want to conceal it, to hide it, that it was, I've done it so many years, it became normal. I can remember, and this is before my surgery, I can remember, I used to be working in the retail photography studios, like Sears Portrait Studio, JCPenney. So I did that type of work. And I can remember one lady, her daughter asked me, was I pregnant? And I wasn't. But that's because my stomach was bigger. I mean, I do have children, and I did have children at that time, but the weight stayed there. I have PCOS. So if you have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, you know that most women that have that, the weight sticks in the middle. We have the stomach. So that just crushed me. And from that moment on, I remember just buying big shirts. The shirt that I had on was like a baby doll shirt. So I stopped wearing shirts like that. I would wear a particular shirt to try to make my stomach, make it look fat instead of me looking pregnant, because I couldn't hide the fact that I had a bigger stomach. So today into the surgery, I struggled with it even more. So here's the thing. The behavior was normal. My fixation was normal to me. I didn't look at it as a problem. I just looked at it as like, oh, every woman does this. We focus on something on our body, we become obsessed with it, and we want to change it. Mine was like, oh, I need to exercise. I need to do this. I need to do ab work. I remember even as a teenager, I used to do ab work to get a smaller stomach. And then to the point where like I would just try to figure out like maybe it's something wrong. Maybe it's my muscles. Maybe, so many things. So when I had the surgery, it didn't seem like a problem to me. But after I had the surgery, then I noticed that it was a problem, because after the surgery, you're losing weight. I mean, I went through the liquid fast before my surgery. So that was 7 days. So I lost weight because my diet had changed. And then after, I'm losing weight. And so, of course, face, neck, shoulders, you see it. And then my stomach, to me, looks like a raisin. I have stretch marks. I'm not, I'm like, it is what it is with those. But my stomach looked like a raisin. It looked like it was just deflating. And it didn't look attractive to me. And it just like, I couldn't stop looking at it. And so every day I would get up, I would look at my stomach. Still to this day, I get up, I look at my stomach. And I remember like getting to the point of just sadness, like, oh, my stomach is gonna look like this. It's gonna look like this. And then I became obsessed where I was, drowning myself in the groups, the weight loss surgery groups, trying to see what people look like after so many months. Like, oh my God, did their stomach look bad? Like, what did their stomach look like? I didn't know, like, I know people get, their loose skin removed, but I didn't know it was common. And so I didn't even think about that for me, or if that was going to be an option for me. So when I'm being obsessed about this, I'm in the groups, and now people are saying like they have panlectomy surgery. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, or tummy tucks. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get one of those. Like, I was planning all of this stuff out of my head because I had become obsessed, because I felt like I had to fix it. It looks bad. I have to fix it. The reality is no one would probably see my stomach but me and my husband, of course, but I was just obsessed, and I did stuff. I bought creams. I was putting oils and stuff like, to get rid of it. It turned from me looking at my stomach and saying, oh my God, it looks like a raisin, to me and be like, oh my God, I got more stretch marks, to, oh my God, more cellulite, to, oh, these scars on my stomach are ugly. I have to do something about it. And I was, the compressions are good for more than just, you know, what most people think they're for. But I was not only using my compressions for the muscle soreness, but I was like, okay, maybe if I tighten it, it'll sink my stomach in. Like, I was just obsessed to the point of sadness. And I brought it to my therapist, and I told my therapist what was going on. And my therapist was saying, you know, she said, have you ever heard of body dysmorphia? And I said, I heard of it, but I didn't know much about it. And she explained to me what it was. And she said, I think that you might be struggling with body dysmorphia. And that's when I kind of like, you know, did my research and become ingrained and try to understand what that is and what it was. Because I don't like to claim things. I like to make sure that that relates to me, or that is something that I truly am going through. I mean, she is a therapist. So it wasn't that I was not believing what she was saying or taking her word for it. It was just like, I just have to do my own research on that. And that's what I did. And then I realized that, wow, that is. And it isn't just, it might have been something that I've been going through since I was a teenager. It might not have just been the weight loss surgery. The weight loss surgery might have just been a trigger and might have just made things, you know, worse. With that being said, body dysmorphia is common among bariatric patients. And so for me, I was like, I'm not any different in that sense. I'm probably going to have those triggers. And so now that was brought into it, you know, I do talk about that in therapy, and we talk about it. I have gotten a little bit better, but I will acknowledge, like, I still look at my stomach, you know. I try to tell myself in my mind, like, you know, we're not going to focus on that. That's not too bad. Like, nope, you look good. I try to do everything I can, positive affirmations, focus on, you know, not on my body, and remind myself that I'm going through a process, to try to get my mind off the negative part of, like, oh, you know, me being fixated on this part of my stomach. So it's not an easy thing. It is very challenging. I want to say that if anybody is going through, it's not an easy thing. So, keep in mind that the fixation in most patients are trivial. So sometimes, you know, somebody might say me looking at fixating on my stomach is trivial. But some people, like, it might be their ankles, it might be their hands, it might be their chin. Another thing that I was doing was my eyes, because I have dark circles. I had dark circles all of my life. But again, I'm fixated on, like, oh my God, I have dark circles. So these things have also exist. So it's some of them can be trivial. Some of them are not trivial. Some people might take extra measures to fix those flaws that they have. So, however, that doesn't take away or invalidate the other experiences, other people's experiences, and this matter is still serious. So I just want to say that, because some people go through links to try to fix whatever the flaw is. There is no cure for body dysmorphia. Therapy does help. So for me, I do have a therapist, and I do bring this up, and we talk about this because I'm still going through this process. I'm almost 4 months post-op. So it's not like it's something new, and my body is continuing to change. There's going to be new changes. So there might be new triggers. So it's definitely something that we continue to talk about in therapy, just to help me process the changes that is going through in my body, and just for me to stay focused and remember that that these changes is natural. They're going to happen. They are common for me because I had weight loss surgery, and that and it's not to say, like, you know, I'm oh my God, I'm ugly, or oh, it looks bad, but it's just to say, like, it's natural to happen, and to just give myself grace. This is how my body is transitioning. Another one was also, like, the weight loss part. I was not going into this. I was not so focused on, like, I need to lose this much weight. I need to lose it, because I didn't know what to expect. You know, I'm like, you know, I do this, I lose weight. I think most people think about that, but I didn't think, like, I'll lose 5 pounds every month, you know. My first post-op visit with my surgeon or my doctor, we talked about the weight loss. And so I think I shared this in another video, but the perspective was, from her perspective, she was just saying, hey, you've lost X amount of weight, X amount of pounds. She's like, that's pretty good, but that's mostly from, you know, you just being on this liquid diet. She's like, if you exercise more, you can see more weight going off. And she said, we're expecting you to lose, you know, X amount of pounds every month, you know, just the range. So I took it as that. I don't know, maybe somebody perceived it differently, but I took it as her just, you know, giving me what the expectation is or what it looks like. But then later on, by me obsessing over myself, not trusting the process, I became these thoughts came in my mind, like, you know, what if I don't lose enough weight? What if it doesn't happen? What if I'm stuck here, you know? And I became obsessed with that part of, and also I was looking in my mirror every day, trying to see if I looked any different. There were days, it took me a long time, and I think this is also common. It took me a long time to notice or to realize that I was losing weight, because I thought that I was the same big girl, and everyone else was like, oh my God, you're losing weight. And I'm like, I look the same to me. It wasn't until after Christmas that I was like, I look different. I remember taking some pictures and I was like, oh my God, I'm still fat. Like I'm still large. I still look the same. Please forgive me when I say things like I'm still fat. I'm speaking on me personally. I'm not body shaming anybody. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm judging you. I'm just speaking personally on my experience. And so I'm not judging you if you are plus size or a larger person. So please don't take that as me using those terms as body shaming. It's just I have to say those things because it relates to how the talk that how I spoke about myself, and that has changed, but I just wanted to be real. I hope that explains it. But yes, I did look at myself. I'm like, I am still the big girl. I don't look any different. So it still takes time. Some days I have to go back and look at pictures like, oh my God, look at where I came from. That is still a process. Our minds, because I've heard this before, our minds don't really catch up. Like we're losing the weight fast, and it takes our mind some time to catch up. And so it wasn't any different for me. Sorry to pause, but cellulite. Oh my God. That was another thing that I was fixating on, and that's something I still kind of fixate on. Like I said, this is a work in progress, so it's not like cookie cut. But the cellulite part was, I was concerned about getting cellulite on my thighs. I thought like I had a lot of cellulite on my thighs, and on my arms. Again, like after the surgery, you're dropping pounds, and so your body is transforming kind of fast, and you notice things. And so to me, my body looks shriveled in some certain places, and so I had to do something. What really helped me was just getting out of the groups, because sometimes some people might have been through the process longer than I have, and they might be dealing with body dysmorphia or some sort of issue where they're struggling or being challenged with their journey. And when you're a beginner, it kind of discourages you, because you're like, is that what I have to expect? So one of the people that is a part of my support team told me to stay off the groups, and I did. And I actually wanted to be able to look at other people, so I came to YouTube and I went to Instagram and I followed, looked at people, and I was so glad that I found people that were giving me more of a better outlook on their journey. That it really did help me, honestly. It helped me because I was really struggling those first 2 months after my surgery, because it was just like everything was hitting me, and it was a transition, and it was hard for me to adjust. And so being able to look at someone else's journey, and everything wasn't all good, but they were being honest, but at the same time, they were just like, oh my God, I hate myself. Look at this, They were being able to be honest and share their journey and give me some positive insight on what the journey looks like. It really is helping me still now, and it helped me then. And so once I hit my third month, it really made it so, my second month, once I got into the second month, it really made it easy for me to just trust the process and be comfortable and understand that it is a process. And so when it comes to my stomach, it's a process. When it comes to the cellulite, I'm like, it's a process, because these things are going to happen, but also they're not forever. They happen, but as you go along, your body transitions, and then they kind of go away. So that's what I noticed. That's what I'm noticing now. Like, my stomach is looking different. My legs are looking different. When it comes to, I forgot what the other one that I added, but, losing the weight. That's happening. I mean, you have stalls. When I tell you I had to go out and research and get an understanding, that was what was the other thing. Like, all of these things are normal. The stalls are normal. And people don't understand it. They are normal. And that is the science behind that, is that our bodies typically go into defense mode, because what is happening to us is happening so rapidly, at a rapid rate, that our bodies are trying to process it, and they might go into defense mode and try and just shut down. And so that's one reason. And so we basically have to trick it by, either drinking more water, exercising, taking in more protein. So we're tricking our bodies and letting them know, hey, everything is okay. So all of these things are normal. And that is what I had to tell myself. This is normal. This is a process. It's going to happen. I'm going to get there. It's fine. My body is not going to look perfect after that. There's been so many changes to my body before weight loss surgery, and this is also a change. So it's not going to look good. It's not going to look perfect. So I tell myself that every day. I remind myself of that I am beautiful, that I am who I am. My body doesn't define who I am. So all of these things are helping me through this journey and with this challenge, and therapy as well. Therapy is huge, because it's allowing me to process what is going on and how to be able to manage those triggers or be aware of those triggers. So my best advice to you, if this is you struggling, take that for what it is, because you still have to do the work, but also seek help. There are so many solutions out there to help you. There's treatment to help you through this journey. You are not alone. And if you are not comfortable, or you're not comfortable taking that step to go through therapy, I don't 100% discourage the groups, but there are some bariatric groups that are not very helpful. So I would say find individuals who are going through this journey that could really help you, and that are being real about their journey and sharing information that is useful. And do your research, but it takes work. It's not just the one a hidden get my words together. It's not just the I did it today and it's done. It's ongoing, and this is going to be ongoing for me. So I want to thank you guys for joining me on today. I will be popping in next week. I might pop in this week with a surprise video, but I want to thank you again for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. New videos every week. I'm still talking about my journey with VSG after my surgery. I would love for you guys to follow along with me. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section. And all of my links are on my page, so you can follow me beyond my journey on Instagram at Marquilla VSG. And I am also on TikTok, but it's no secret. But guys, it's new for me. Anyway, but if you want to follow me over there, that I'm on TikTok at Marquilla B as in boy. But thank you guys again for joining me. Until next time, you guys stay blessed. I love you. See you. Bye-bye.